Oh, hello. Let's jump in this. Let's jump on in this. Stop. I'm being on a. What's up? What's up? Everything's good. Everything is working, so that means we're good to go. What's up? Hello. Welcome. I am Unapologetic Tank, being unapologetic as I know how. Hopefully, you are being safe. It is so much, as you can tell, y'all. My jaw going down a little bit, so I can talk. It is just so much news going on today. Hopefully, y'all are safe. Are y'all safe? Are y'all safe? Everybody good? Okay, everybody good. Wherever y'all live across the USA, I've heard rumors about, the food being at the stores. We're gonna look over that tonight. But I'm praying for especially Mississippi, Texas, Tennessee, Memphis. My heart goes out to y'all because see, I live in DC, and here in DC, they're always prepped and they're always ready for snow and ice like that up here because it's what they live in. But if you don't live in that on a normal basis, they usually don't have the equipment you need in the South to really, get to be able to travel on the road. So if you're in the South, please sit your ass down somewhere. Make sure mama them good. Sit down somewhere, please. If you ain't get no food, you probably need to fast anyway. If you weren't able to get no food today, you need to be fasting anyway. Okay? Shit. Hmm. Need to be fasting sometime, but hopefully you did get something though. But for real though, it is getting bad. So it's so much going on besides the weather. We're gonna jump into the weather. And I also want to jump straight into this. Of course, y'all got the news today if y'all have not. On top of everything else, on top of being a negative 10 plus degrees in Minnesota on today. It was another, I don't know how we said on TikTok, pew-pewing of another innocent. So let's check out this story real quick. Let's go ahead and jump straight in. Hope you having a good day. Let's go see this. Let's go.
We have Ian Russell, who was back at, I believe, 27th and 1st. You said last time we visited with you, Ian, we saw FBI vehicles announcing over a loudspeaker that they were FBI and they were here to investigate, and they asked people to move, and people moved, and they drove through. What are you seeing now?
Well, currently what's happening right behind us, I don't know if this person lives down this road or what, but she's upset. Tried to turn down here, right to our left here down 27th is where those ICE agents, Homeland Security, have been standing. I think the crowd, from what I can hear, it's loud out here right now, but I think the guy in the green jacket's been trying to calm her down. But a lot of emotion out here, obviously. A lot of people are upset. And I'm hearing more pops and bangs to our left down 27th there. This happened probably about 10 minutes ago. There was another kind of cloud of tear gas, I presume it's tear gas, it made my eyes burn and I couldn't breathe for a little bit, that wafted down this way. You kind of saw the crowd split into two. The ones with goggles and with tear masks, or with gas masks, stood a little bit closer to this line here. The ones without it backed up a little bit. This van that we were talking about here is turning around the intersection, but I mean,
Ian, I'm going to pause you one second.
On First here.
Ian, I'm going to pause you 1 second because on another camera right now, I believe this is Mitchell and Sammy, we're seeing somebody that just got tackled by law enforcement. There are multiple people trying to detain someone. We saw agents sprinting towards somebody, and now we can see a few agents who tackled someone and are detaining them right now.
And I see Sammy out there now. Sammy, could you see what happened there?
I don't think Sammy's mic'd up right now.
Yeah, I don't think she can hear us right now. All right, we'll try and get in touch with her and see what happened at this situation.
Let's go back to Ian Russell. Ian, what were you saying now about your side of the street?
Yeah, well, this is a one-way on First right here as folks are, going that way. But I mean, it's been, people are trying to get through. People have been turned around. I mean, the FBI was here trying to get through. So it's been kind of hectic as they've been, driving through this area. But as you can see, there's a gentleman here directing traffic. We were talking to him a second ago. He's been out here for a while, kind of observing and paying attention to things here. Yeah, it's people have been yelling out here. We haven't, at least from what I've seen in probably the half hour we've been out here, I haven't seen any pepper balls or tear gas or canisters or things like that. It's more so, Chris, I think we were talking the last time we saw you, we were talking about how we thought that Nicolet's 2 blocks away. It's only a block. I can see the Nicolet sign just a block away here. So that 27th and Nicolet is only a block from us. So when we're seeing all these explosions of chemical gas and these flashbangs and things like that, it's only about a block from us. We've seen kind of through the crowd and through the trees, agents move in, the crowd move in, kind of back and forth as things have been happening here. And that's where, because that wind is blowing down this way towards us, that's where all that's been coming from, is that intersection right there of 27th and Nicolet. But as you can see, or go ahead, Chris.
Oh no, so I just trying to hear what's going on there. What I'm seeing though are people sort of obeying the perimeter. I don't see anybody throwing anything at officers. Have you seen any violent protesting?
No, I mean people are voicing their opinions. I haven't seen anything being thrown. I might have seen a snowball when the FBI trucks were coming through, but no, the crowd that's here now has been standing here. They moved an inch or two forward from where that police tape line was on the ground. I don't even see it anymore. I'm sure someone picked it up. But no, I have not seen anything like that. I mean, people are voicing their opinions. They're shouting. They're obviously frustrated and upset right now. But the agents have kind of rotated through who's been standing on what side here. But the crowd has stayed, 6 feet away, yelling and voicing their opinions on this. But past that, no, nothing violent that I've seen.
And such a different scene than what we're seeing just a block away where Sammy is, where there have been more confrontations, certainly many more canisters thrown. We just saw moments ago what appeared to be a number of federal agents tackling someone on the street. And we're waiting to learn more about what happened there. I know we're going to try and get in touch with Sammy on that.
So yeah, there you have it. It's even more just crazy. So from what I just text you, boo. I can't see my comments, y'all. So listen, I gotta ride on for what I gotta ride on, and then we just gonna, go from where we gotta go to. I haven't gotten all the information yet on the guy's name, but this is the second report. This is also maybe another second report, the third shooting in Minnesota. And it's really, really sad. They had a protest on the other day. If you didn't know, they had a big protest the other day. Oh yeah, this is the weapon that y'all see on screen. This is the weapon that they said he had on him. Now, just from I ain't even pay attention to the gun. Just from looking at the gun, why would you carry this around if it is true that he had this? This don't even like something somebody would carry. What is that on top, or is that so? It's broke down. I don't know. Something's weird about this whole thing. But this is the third shooting. So I just really praying for Minnesota, man, because Minnesota is I know they're going through a lot. I know what started this, and it's hard to really say things that are easy to hear because the truths are very, very hard, and this is sad breaking news. This is the third time, so let's go over to ABC and let's see what ABC has said about this story as well since the last couple of hours. It happened early this morning, like around like 9ish. And so let's go over to see what they're at this afternoon, about an hour ago, I think.
I want to bring in ABC News' Olivia Rubin, who's been following this now. Olivia, you just heard federal officials now give an update. Can you talk to us essentially? What is he saying happened at the shooting, and what are the discrepancies based on what we've seen so far?
Well, it seemed like he actually just repeated the DHS statement that was already released this morning, saying that they were in the area to conduct a law enforcement operation when, quote, an individual approached. He had a handgun. They tried to disarm him. He violently resisted. The officer fired defensive shots. And then, as they put it, 200, quote, rioters descended on the scene and also began attacking law enforcement. And in his words, he says today that they are showing support for agents around the country area who are, quote, under attack. He did give a few more details about who this officer is. A Border Patrol agent officer, he says, has been 8 years as an agent and who has extensive training. But as you heard in that room, one reporter did raise the question, saying that what he had said perhaps didn't match what they saw on the video, though he didn't answer any questions about whether that was accurate. He just said that it was something that was currently under review, currently under investigation, and that the facts would come to light here. Again, important to note that local officials, Minneapolis police, don't have their own sort of assessment of what happened here yet, as they said earlier this morning, because they weren't actually on scene there when this unfolded. But as we have seen already during these incidents in Minneapolis, such as Renee Good, there were drastically different sort of analyses of what exactly happened there between Renee Good and that officer on both sides of the aisle. So it'll be critical to see how that sort of unfolds with this video, as there is another video here. But again, the federal officials are coming out very strongly to say they stand with the agents who are under attack and that they were acting in defense in this particular scenario.
All right, right now you're looking at live pictures at Minneapolis at the scene of the shooting. You can see that police tape right there trying to block off that that area so they can try to maintain some sense of security there. We've been told from former police chief Brian O'Hara that they've labeled these protesters now who have been gathering around this this scene rather, as an unlawful assembly. I want to bring in Robert Boyce, former NYPD chief of detectives. Robert, first of all, it's very cold there right now. You're still seeing a lot of the federal officials right now. A lot of the protesters are still out there. The tensions are very high at the moment. What exactly are you seeing right now as this incident continues to unfold?
Well, now it looks like it's Minneapolis Police Department's on the scene. It's kind of like quieted down now. People stand there. You're right, Ike. It looks like it's really cold out there. But it looks like there's a cessation in the advancement of the protesters, where we see that crime scene was held, and we see the Minneapolis Police Department, which we wanted them to come, to really solidify that location and create an outer perimeter, which what I'm saying right now, and that's what we're reviewing. Added on to what Olivia said, there seems to be a single shooter here on ice, and it's and we don't know how many rounds. We're only there to guess, but it looks like we won't know until a total examination of the entire event in totality, exactly what transpired into that officer using deadly physical force. When did they know that gun was there? Substantial weapon, by the way. And it looks like they were doing the.
And one thing that also gets me in the middle of this is right here is that it is hard to see. I think as time passed, even though I have my feelings about the whole thing how it started, it is hard to see that they're literally it's like a war zone. It's becoming a freaking war zone.
And it looks like they were doing, I mentioned a male, Jose Huerta Toma. They were arresting him when this individual, who's unknown, male white 37, came in and interrupted and said something, and then it all spiraled from there. That's what I got from this. A little more information, not complete, but certainly more than we knew about 20, 30 minutes ago.
All right, Elizabeth Newman, former Assistant Homeland Security Secretary. You just heard federal officials give an update on the incident. What's your reaction to that, Elizabeth?
Well, once again, we're watching DHS officials set a narrative before the investigation has even started, and that concerns me. The appropriate way to handle a situation like this is to say what we know preliminarily, that there were shots, that somebody has died, federal officers were involved, and we will let the investigation tell us the story. And instead, what we are hearing is an immediate defense of federal law enforcement, which I appreciate that federal law enforcement has been under attack this last year. I mean, we saw the chief try to run through a number of incidents that have happened to federal law enforcement. It is true. It is a very volatile moment to be a federal law enforcement officer, especially from DHS right now. But we do not know what happened yet. And for him to assert that this individual had an intent to conduct a mass attack attack is basically what he was asserting. He was saying there's 2 loaded magazines, and therefore he had planned to kill law enforcement officers in some sort of premeditated act. I mean, we have no information to be able to back that up. And so it's very clear that the MO here of the administration is to set the narrative before the facts come out. That just leads to further distrust. That's going to further lead the people of Minnesota to not believe any results that come from an investigation if the feds are in charge of that investigation. It's just pouring more fuel on the fire instead of letting the investigation run its course and then presenting to the public the results of that investigation. I'm very disappointed that federal, really this is coming from the administration. It's not necessarily a reflection on the men and women of the federal law enforcement, but the administration is using this to set a narrative before the facts have come in, and that is not how our government is supposed to work.
You did comment about the administration. I want to get on that. Let's go back to ABC's Olivia Rubin. You're saying now that we have a response from President Trump at the moment.
The president has just posted on his social media platform. It's the first response that we're getting with him. It's quite lengthy. It seems he is sort of echoing the same tone as the rest of the federal government in showing support for the officers here. He said, quote, posting a picture of the gun that the Department of Homeland Security released, saying, quote, "This is the gunman's gun, loaded and ready to go. What is this all about? Where are local police? Why weren't they allowed to protect ICE officers? The mayor and the governor called them off." It's then going on to sort of blame local officials, and then going on to say the mayor and the governor are inciting insurrection with their pompous, dangerous, and arrogant rhetoric. So certainly, again, we are seeing some of the political attacks lodged against local officials in Minnesota that we have seen from the president and some of his administration officials as these clashes have gone on. Again, we have talked about this contentious relationship that is played out between the federal government and the local Minneapolis and Minnesota officials. Again, a number of those Minnesota officials are currently under investigation. ABC has previously reported by the Trump administration, all as this investigation is just merely hours old since this 37-year-old man was shot and killed in Minnesota. But again, this is the first response that we are hearing from the president after a White House official told us that he had been briefed on the situation.
So yeah, that is that for what's going on in Minnesota right now. So rest in peace to the young man that life was taken too early. I would say this before I say anything else. Listen, Trump has sent these people out here. These are Trump's people. You have to understand, no matter what it is, it might sound whatever. You can't walk up on them. Just don't do it. They don't care about you. It's either you or them. Okay? And the sad part about it is that a lot of people have voted for this. Okay? And I don't feel like people should be putting themselves in a line of danger over that, because you know for a fact you can't get deported. So you shouldn't scare yourself into thinking maybe I can get deported or whatever, and I hate it, but it's hard to say stand down, because I get it, taking over your city, I do get that. It's just sad, you just like, can you get enough of it? Is it enough? It's sad. So I want to take y'all over here to, let's see what TikTok's talking about. Hold on. I can't do that.
Yeah, unroll your windows.
Hold on.
I just saw a video of more than 6 masked agents pummeling one of our constituents and shooting him to death. How many more residents, how many more Americans need to die or get badly hurt for this operation to end? How many more lives need to be lost before this administration realizes that a political and partisan narrative is not as important as American values. I'm done being told that our community members are responsible for vitriol in our. I'm done being told that our elected officials are solely responsible for turning down the temperature. The mass militarized force and unidentified agents who are occupying our streets, that is what weakens our country. That is what erodes trust in both law enforcement and in democracy itself. So to everyone listening, stand with Minneapolis. Stand up for America. Recognize that your children will ask you what side you were on. Your grandchildren will ask you what you did to act to prevent this from happening again, to make sure that the foundational elements of our democracy were rock solid. This is not a partisan issue. This is an American issue. If the goal was to achieve peace and safety, this is doing exactly the opposite. If the goal was to achieve calm and prosperity, this is doing exactly the opposite. So to President Trump, this is a moment to act like a leader. Put Minneapolis, put America first in this moment. Let's achieve peace. Let's end this operation, and I'm telling you, our city will come back. Safety will be restored. We're asking for you to take action now to remove these federal agents. I just saw.
Okay. That was from yesterday. I think it's gonna take him down. Yeah. I don't think they
They're doing too much, man, and they keep pushing people, you know.
Okay, this this is where it started. Before the shoot started. I wonder why would they chase him down? You know what I'm saying?
What the fuck? They killed him? Did they fucking kill that guy? Are you fucking kidding me, dude?
All right, we're right in the center of the protests, and despite them declaring this an unlawful assembly, we continue to see people pouring in. They have this message that they want ICE out of their state, and that immigrants are welcome here.
I looked down, and the guy, he was at the bus stop. It looked like he was going to work because he had a uniform on. They shot him all in the chest and the head. And the Minneapolis police came and they parked their car on 27th and Nicollet. And they went down there and they tried to do CPR on him, but I think he's gone.
Very scary mood, for sure. Obviously a lot of optimism from seeing people like come together and help each other so much, but then you have waking up to murders in the streets by the federal government. It's like pretty terrifying. It seems like anything is possible. Nothing's like off the table for the depravity of the people that are occupying our city. Yeah, I just saw the video of what happened today from a witness, and it's very, very disturbing.
I just saw a video.
Wow.
So right now we're at the Minneapolis airport.
It appears there's been another fatal shooting involving U.S. Immigration and Customs Enforcement agents in Minneapolis, Minnesota that took place on January 24th of 2026. Now, the details for this thing are still emerging, and this stuff is evolving, so this information may change, or there may be new information that comes out soon, so bear with me. Apparently, the location this took place in is a place called Whittier Neighborhood in South Minneapolis near 26th Street West and Nicollet Avenue, close to Glam Doll Donuts in some reports. Took place approximately 9 to 9:30 a.m. Central Standard Time. The shooting occurred when Immigration Customs Enforcement agents were attempting to detain a male suspect who physically resisted arrest and engaged in a struggle with agents, and then allegedly, according to DHS, pulled out a firearm and attempted to fire it, with some accounts stating that he did fire some shots at the agents. Now, agents responded with lethal force, shooting and killing the individual. Now, so far what we know is that the victim was a adult male. They haven't released any name or age or nationality just yet, but they described him as being an armed suspect. possibly an undocumented immigrant targeted in the operation, or an individual interfering with the operation. Either way, he was armed with a gun. Department of Homeland Security released photos of the gun that he was armed with. Now, this just happened, so I'm sure there's going to be more information coming out about this over the rest of the day, and as more stuff comes out, I'll keep you guys updated.
I mean, that's sad. Any loss of life is sad. But I've been saying this, there's going to be more of this. I'm already seeing everybody on the left, I can't wait to see how Republicans are going to defend this. And once again, we're going to be in a position where we're all going to argue about somebody who isn't alive to have the argument themselves. So if you were my friend and I was making recommendations, I would say, do not go to one of these protests with a firearm. Let's go get a breakfast burrito, or let's go hit a workout or something. The federal government has been real clear, they're not going to stop. I don't know if those law enforcement officers were correct or incorrect, lawful, unlawful. I know everybody on the left is saying this guy was murdered, it was an execution. Well, I mean, if he has a firearm and he pulls it out, and like Kagan says, there's reports saying that even he fired shots. We don't know what was said. And I stick to what I've been saying, we're gonna have more of this. And I don't want that. I wish I was wrong. And let's say those law enforcement officers are wrong, that guy still is not alive. I don't know about you, I'm not taking that risk. But you guys drop a comment, let me know what you think.
You know what? I would say this. That was my sentiment exactly. Like, you gotta realize, like, we gotta go the other way. Because Trump is not finna stop. Trump is not finna stop. He is not.
I just saw.
Anybody else got any sentiments on this already?
The lady in pink has posted her video, and the statement that was released by Kristi Noem and the person over ICE is in direct contradiction to her video. They said the man approached ICE and showed a gun and they tried to disarm him. Her video totally discounts this. He had a camera. He's up watching them. They come to him. They push him. He doesn't even respond. They pepper spray him and he turns away. Then they try to tackle him. They're fighting him and they shot him. The video is clear as day. But what y'all keep forgetting is that man that took over Germany had what he called a minister of propaganda. We have proof what they're saying is not true, yet they're trying to convince you that what they're saying is the truth. Please go watch this woman's video. They executed this man.
All right.
Ladies and gentlemen, we got breaking news. Hundreds and hundreds of protesters are gathered in Minneapolis. Right now, Minneapolis is under fire. Hundreds of protests gather in front of the ICE facility. We are watching it live right now over at the Red app as we speak, doing this podcast.
This is 4 days ago. I want to go to something very much closer. I want to keep it within, because this right here is so fresh. This is so fresh. Okay. Let's go click on this and see what this brings us. It might not bring us anything. Okay, they ain't gonna bring us nothing. We're gonna go back. We're gonna go back to our regular place. Maybe they ain't gonna be it either. Oh, it don't want to work no more. I should left it alone, huh? Oh well, I'm gonna leave it alone. Okay, so it's probably it's time for me to move on to something else. Okay, time to move on to something else. All right. So, as we're into this, of course if you are anywhere, like I said before when I first came on, listen, please be safe. Please be safe. Hopefully you got everything you need. Hopefully you got everything you needed for this winter storm. Hopefully you got everything you needed. I didn't get a chance to get any salt for the stairs outside my house because I got a row of stairs, like two flights to get up to the main house. 2 flights, and I can get any salt. I said my brother to the store, go find me some salt for my stairs. I couldn't get no salt because everything was like pretty much sold out. Shovels were sold out, things like that. But in the South, if you can be, please be still, because folks can't drive and everybody ain't got no insurance. Everybody ain't got insurance, and everybody taxes ain't dropped yet, so they can't promise you $500 not to call the police. Okay, so stay in the house. Okay, stay in the house. If you can't get everything you need, but if your tires are bald, if you don't know what bald mean, if you haven't got no tires in the last year and a half, and your car got a jiggle to it, stay at home. Stay at home. If you turn your volume up so you won't hear your car, that means you stay at home right now. Okay. So let's get let's get over to let's see what's going on over here with this.
Temperatures have dropped by double digits compared to yesterday, and even here in Dallas, we're getting in on some sleet. You can hear it coming down, and for me, I can feel it. It feels a lot different from the rain that we've been getting on. But this is the time period that officials have really been warning about. Everything that fell overnight.
Hold on. Oh, she said no, girl. Hold on. I gotta go back in here and grab her. She said hell no.
Temperatures have dropped by double digits compared to yesterday, and even here in Dallas, we're.
Oh well, helpful. She was, how you gonna tell me no to my story?
Temperatures have dropped by double digits compared to yesterday, and even here in Dallas, we're getting in on some sleet. You can hear it coming down, and for me, I can feel it. It feels a lot different from the rain that we've been getting on. But this is the time period that officials.
Oh well, y'all. It's just the weather is bad. Shit, I can't report on that weather. The weather is bad. Okay, the weather is bad. It is. It's bad. I was trying to report on. I've seen Dallas, Memphis, Arkansas, Atlanta. A lot of cities are getting hit majorly across there. So please be safe. I'm not sure what other things to do, but like you. Ooh, we keep on finding stuff. I keep on finding birthday stuff, y'all. This is crazy. My whole computer is crashing, y'all. I love y'all. I'm not sure what it's doing and how it's looking or what it's even looking like. I have to go and restart. But I'll be back later on. Hopefully